Have you ever absolutely crushed a workout, feeling on top of the world, only to find your muscles are shaking like a leaf afterward? It's a really strange feeling, right? Well, today, we're going to dig into the science behind those post-workout trembles and figure out what exactly your body is trying to tell you. So picture it. You've just re-racked the weight on that last set. Your muscles are burning in that good way. You feel amazing. And then it starts. Your hands, your legs, they just start trembling. If you've ever really pushed your limits, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, what is actually happening there?
This phenomenon is so common, it even has a nickname. Rock climbers, they call it Elvis leg, sometimes sewing machine leg. And honestly, that's a perfect description for that out-of-control shaky feeling. But it's way more than just a funny name. It's a very real physiological response, and we're about to break down exactly why it happens.
All right, so where do we even begin with this? Let's start with the most direct, most obvious reason for the shakes, your muscles themselves.
The fancy scientific term for this is physiologic tremor. And here's the most important thing you need to hear. It is completely 100% normal. This isn't some sign that you're weak or doing something wrong. It is a universal human response to intense physical work. It's basically a standard feature that comes with our nervous system.
So, from now on, I want you to reframe this. Instead of seeing those shakes as a sign of weakness, think of it as a badge of honor. Seriously, it means you've pushed your muscles to the absolute brink. What's happening is that the communication lines between your brain and your muscles are just getting a little staticky as they try to recover. The little nerves that tell your muscle fibers what to do are just firing a bit out of sync. It is the clearest sign that you've put in some serious work.
Okay, but muscle fatigue, that's only layer one of the story. What happens when it's not just your muscles that are tired, but your body's entire energy reserve starts to run dry? That brings us to our next piece of the puzzle.
And that piece of the puzzle has a name: hypoglycemia. You've probably heard it called low blood sugar. See, your brain and your muscles run on a fuel called glucose. And when you have a really intense, long workout, you can burn through your glucose stores, causing your blood sugar to dip. And that's when your body starts flashing the warning lights.
In fact, doctors have a really simple way to diagnose true hypoglycemia. It's called Whipple's triad. It's a basic three-step checklist. 1, you're feeling the symptoms, like shaking. 2, a lab test confirms your blood sugar is low. And 3, the symptoms go away after you eat something. This just perfectly shows that direct link between fuel in and performance out. And here's where it gets really interesting. Low blood sugar actually triggers 2 different types of symptoms. First, you get what are called autonomic symptoms. Think of these as your body's early alarm system, things like shaking, sweating, your heart pounding. But if your blood sugar keeps dropping, you can start to experience neuroglycopenic symptoms, and that's way more serious because it means your brain isn't getting the fuel it needs.
So, we've talked about muscles, we've talked about fuel, but what if I told you the biggest reason you're shaking is actually all in your head? Yeah, it's time to talk about your brain. This idea is called central nervous system fatigue, and it's a game changer. The theory is it's not that your muscles can't physically work anymore. It's that your brain is actively making the decision to pull the plug. It's an incredible, built-in safety feature to stop you from literally working yourself to death.
So fatigue isn't a bug in the system, it's a feature. Your brain isn't failing you, it's protecting you. It's this intelligent governor on your body's engine, making sure you don't redline and cause permanent damage. This quote here sums it up perfectly. The brain is just trying to make sure you can recover and come back stronger.
Okay, so how does your brain actually hit the brakes? Well, it's all about chemistry. You can think of it like a constant battle, a tug of war, happening between different chemical messengers inside your brain. Let's meet the 2 main players on the battlefield. On one side, you've got dopamine. That's your go signal. It's all about motivation, drive, and performance. On the other side, you have adenosine. That's your stop signal. As you work out, adenosine levels build up, and that's what makes you feel tired. Central fatigue happens when that stop signal from adenosine starts shouting louder than the go signal from dopamine.
Which brings us to a very practical question. What about that cup of coffee you drink before you hit the gym? What is really going on when you feel that caffeine kick in?
Well, here's the secret. Caffeine is kind of a trickster. It doesn't actually give you any energy, not a single drop. All it does is hide how tired you really are. It works by jamming itself into those adenosine receptors, the ones that are trying to send the stop signal.
It's like putting a piece of black tape over the check engine light in your car. The car can keep going for a while, but the underlying problem is still there.
And hey, there's fantastic science to back this up. Check out this chart from a study on mice. The first bar shows their normal endurance, but look at the next 2 bars. When they were given either caffeine or another specific substance that blocks adenosine, their endurance went through the roof. It's crystal clear proof that adenosine is a huge player in how your brain manages fatigue. We've gone from muscles to fuel to the brain. For our last piece of the puzzle, let's zoom out one final time and look at the really big picture, your body's hormonal response to all this stress.
And when we talk about that, the star of the show is a hormone called cortisol. Now, you've probably heard it called the stress hormone, and it is, but it does so much more. Cortisol is absolutely essential for managing your energy, keeping your blood sugar stable, and just helping your body handle stress of any kind.
And here's how it all connects back to the shakes. A tough workout is a major physical stress on your body, so your adrenal glands pump out extra cortisol to help you cope. But, and this is a big but, if you're constantly under stress, whether it's from overtraining or work or just life, your adrenal system can get worn out. This can actually lead to low cortisol levels, which can cause severe fatigue, muscle aches, and, you guessed it, shakiness.
So there you have it, the 4 interconnected layers that explain why you shake after a workout. It's this fascinating domino effect, right? It starts in your muscles, it's impacted by your fuel tank, it's controlled by your brain's amazing safety system, and it's all tied into your body's wider stress response. Every single layer gives us a clearer picture of the incredible machine we live in.
So, the next time you finish a workout and you feel those muscles start to tremble, I hope you won't feel discouraged. Instead, maybe you can get curious. See it as a conversation. Your body is giving you incredibly valuable information. So the question isn't, why am I so weak or why am I shaking? The real question is, what is my body telling me right now?